Well, today, for our day card, I drew the Emperor. And you may remember from yesterday, if you were watching, the other 4 card of the Major Arcana, Alxemy, or Temperance, as most decks call it, came up. So it seems that our friend the Emperor wanted a chance at the spotlight. Now that in itself, although meant as sort of a humorous little remark, can tell us a little bit about the Emperor. And I want to say, when we do these day cards, I do them with the intent of giving sort of a theme for the day. Something for us to think on. You know, does it always apply 100%? No, but we can usually find something in a card that we can look at in ourselves. So the Emperor takes himself kind of seriously. You can see that from his demeanor in the card, right? He looks pretty serious. He looks excuse me. He looks like he has some authority. He looks to the past and perhaps marvels or feels proud of his accomplishments. We definitely need a balance in ourselves. And if that sort of self-congratulatory attitude becomes pervasive, we can have issues. Now, those of us who practice magic, particularly on the left-hand path, know that we need to give ourselves credit. We absolutely need to recognize ourselves. But with that also comes the need to recognize not just our achievements, but our limitations, so that we know where we can improve. Of course, if we know that we need to improve somewhere, that means that we haven't made it. We haven't become perfect, and we have things that we can address. The Emperor doesn't always like that. The Emperor sometimes has a difficult time recognizing that. And so just as if we have Alxemy or Temperance as our primary mode of operation, and it needs some balance, this very fluid, perhaps even unbalanced or not quite stable figure needs a little more foundation. Sometimes the rigidity of the Emperor needs a little bit more flexibility. He needs to see that maybe he doesn't have all the answers, hence the question marks in this card. He needs to see that maybe he needs to get a little more flexible, like this character who looks like a hungry contortionist. He may need to take a break from what he's already achieved and get into something that takes him out of his comfort zone, gets him up off the throne, gets him moving again. The Emperor has a lamb, you'll notice, toward the bottom there. We can become sheep-like to ourselves. The sheep doesn't often get ambitious, doesn't have a lot of get up and go. And those of us in the magical community can pride ourselves often in our lack of sheep-like qualities. But we can become docile when it comes to ourselves. And so he needs to engage with this aspect of himself. We see a ram's head on his armrest. He needs to get up. He needs to get moving. He might need to butt heads with some things and some people, including himself, and exchange ideas. And we see that here as his counterweight, or as a balance. And so If you find yourself kind of comfortable, you feel accomplished with your growth, congratulations, very good thing. But don't get so complacent. Don't think that you've won the race, that you've finished. Because as long as we have consciousness and awareness, we can get up and move and do and become more. Doesn't mean we have to get down on ourselves or we can't feel good about what we've already done. We just need to not stop. And so I will say, trying to keep this a little shorter today, but I want to add that 2 of the cards in the Minor Arcana tell us something about what we can do. And just like this guy needs some balancing, we can look to a couple of the cards to see what we can balance. Don't look at your intellect and your creativity as 2 separate arenas. Picture them instead as ends on a polarity, and bring them both toward the center where they can have a catalyst, where they can react to one another and create change, new ideas that will lead to greater things and greater achievements. You may think, oh, I've done it all. But then you apply yourself to something new, and your creations begin anew. And this can apply to more than just creativity and intellect. It can apply to, your relationships and your work and all kinds of things. But try and pair things up, and the combinations that emerge will get you up off your rear and moving into something new, fulfilling, exciting, and fun. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've found it useful. It's gotten you thinking or wanting to look at things differently. Make sure to subscribe so you get notifications of updates, new material, and also, because this doesn't happen all the time, follow me on the Facebook, on the Instagram. You'll see those details below in the comments, because those get updated a lot more frequently than the videos at this time. Finally, also as usual, make sure to comment, add your thoughts, your concerns, questions, and if you'd like a reading a bit more personal and individualized, go ahead and contact me. We'll get something set up. As always, hope you have a great day. Keep transforming, folks. We'll see you soon.